Now what you see in front of you is an absolute off-roading legend. It's the 8th generation Toyota Land Cruiser. It's finally found its way to our shores after quite a long wait. It came out, I think, in 2021 globally, and it's finally here in India. Bookings have opened for about rupees 10 lakhs, and rumors suggest that it's priced at over rupees 2 crore, so it's quite a bit more expensive than the Land Cruiser 200 or the 7th gen model that it replaces. And while I give you a quick look around this SUV, you'll realize that it's changed quite a bit. In fact, it's still a ladder frame SUV, but it shares very little with the 200 generation model. It's moved to the TNGA architecture now, and with the lighter frame, it's still body on frame, but it uses a lot of TNGA components. So with the lighter frame, it's almost 200 kgs lighter now, and it's all, among other changes that have been made to the chassis, it's got better center of gravity now, and also better front and rear weight distribution. Among other things that have changed further, of course, the suspension setup is completely different from before. Among other things that have changed, the suspension setup is also different now for better on-road steering and off-roading performance. That hasn't changed at all. It's still a Land Cruiser, so it does need to go quite a bit further off-road. Also new are the Land Cruiser's engines. Those big lumpy V8s, they're gone now. So what you get as the petrol engine, we still don't know what version will come to India eventually, but the petrol is a 3.5 litre twin turbo V6 that makes 415 PS and 650 Newton meter. And then you also have a 3.3 litre twin turbo diesel, which makes 309 PS and quite a significant 700 Newton meter. And both of these pair with a 10-speed automatic. So now this is what the inside of the Land Cruiser 300 looks like. Of course, it's a big step up from earlier. The quality of materials, the finishes, the general layout itself is now quite a bit more modern. It's not that utilitarian. I mean, that utilitarianism is still there, but packaged in a much more, plush form. And you see that with the equipment that's on offer. Of course, you don't get a fully digital instrument cluster. You get a small screen here, but this is a big 12.3 inch screen, what you've seen in the latest Lexus and Toyota offerings, which works very well. And then handily you get physical controls for everything. There's no touch buttons to mess around with here, so you get that for the cooled and heated seats. You get that for the dual zone air conditioning, for this bit of cooled and heated seats, for all the audio controls. There's even a CD player, which you don't see all that often at all. And then of course you come to the many off-roading equipment that this car has, which of course includes the drive modes, the off-roading modes, the multi-terrain system, the hill descent control, the 4x4 selectors, the differential locks. So pretty much every bit of off-roading kit that you require, that's still there. There's a nice wood finish, parking brakes here. This is how the center console opens, which also can be optioned to be cooled. Yeah, there's a small sunroof here. And of course the doors, again hard buttons, they have that nice wood finish, soft materials everywhere. And yeah, so the Land Cruiser, it might have become very expensive, does still feel like it's worth the price inside. Now here's a look at the rear seat of the Land Cruiser. You get these two entertainment screens, which we hope are standard. AC vents on the roof, if you can see them here. That's for the 4-zone air conditioning. You get all manner of aux and volume controls, which look quite old-fashioned in that typically Toyota way, but they'll function faultlessly for years. Similarly for the dual-zone air conditioning, you get heated and cooled seats here as well. Now a quick look at the seat. It's ladder frame, so in that sense the floor is high but not quite as high. So the seat is pushed quite the way back, so there's really not that much space here. But even then, for a ladder frame SUV, there's good comfort to be had. The bench could have been a touch higher, could have had a bit more under thigh support, but it's a minor concern. It's a wide car, so 3 abreast will not be a problem. And even the central tunnel, it's quite shallow, so a third passenger will not be too bothered here. Another quick fact about the Land Cruiser 300 is that even though it's completely new, even the cabin is a lot more spacious than earlier, but its overall length, its overall wheelbase, its approach, departure and breakover angles, the departure angle, the breakover and the approach angles have remained unchanged with this generation change. So even with this new generation, which has become a lot more user friendly, Toyota at least claims that the Land Cruiser's off-roading ability remains fully intact. And then to finally round things off, the 300 Land Cruiser now also gets a powered tailgate and a massive boot. As you can see, it will take pretty much everything that you need for an off-roading. It'll take pretty much everything you need for an off-roading expedition and more. So yeah, that's what the Land Cruiser 300 is like.